Hello there. Today I saw the movie The Accountant 2. No, it's not about taxes. It's about an autistic anti-hero investigating the murder of a former Treasury chief. Technically, this film is a sequel, but seeing the first film isn't required to understand and enjoy this one. Bill Dubuque wrote the story and Gavin O'Connor directed the film. It stars Ben Affleck, Jon Bernthal, and Cynthia Addai-Robinson. The Accountant 2 is more or less an action hero film. It starts with an inciting incident, and then we watch Christian Wolf investigate the murder. He allies himself with a Treasury agent named Mary Beth Medina and his brother Braxton. The three of them visit drug dealers, talk to prostitutes, and break into several facilities trying to find the information they need. The case leads them to a villainous group, and then there's a big showdown between them. Braxton and Wolf go all commando, and a big firefight ensues. For positives, the story is entertaining, the cast does a great job of their roles, and the production quality is solid. Starting with the story, it's an exciting romp that runs down a tried and true pathway. We start with a mystery, spend some time wallowing in it, get a bit of action, and then finish it with some answers and a big dose of adrenaline. Along the way, there's a ton of fun in the form of comedic moments and minor fights. The comedy mostly comes from laughing at the awkwardness created by Wolf or Braxton's absurd behavior. The action comes in small snippets, but is usually one-man army type of content. Wolf and Braxton head into rooms filled with numerous assailants and beat the hell out of all of them while sustaining minimal injuries. For the finale, they up their game by handing the brothers goofy blinged out rifles and letting them go to town on a horde of henchmen. The action is a bit silly, but it's filled with fun moments and little bits of tension. The cast are asked to play agents or generic criminals. The agents tend to be stoic, equipped with a plethora of one-liners, and are capable of following the fast-paced exposition dumps with ease. The criminals tend to be scumbags who don't get much airtime beyond a bit of exposition work. For main characters, you have Christian Wolf, Braxton, and Mary Beth Medina. Wolf, played by Ben Affleck, is a former accountant that now travels the world looking to help gifted children. He comes onto the case a little bit late, but manages to make one hell of an awkward entrance. Affleck plays a character like Rain Man, coming off a bit smug, but he does well with the action sequences. Throughout the film, he gets to have a brotherly relationship with Bernthal, and the two manage a few decently heartfelt moments between them. Bernthal as Braxton is a loudmouth killer. He likes to hurt people, he likes to push people's buttons, and he desperately wants a dog. Bernthal does great with every aspect of his role. He nails the physical presence during action sequences, is entertaining during his comedic moments, and shows a ton of heart when he's with Affleck. Bernthal does a fantastic job in this role and ends up being the heart of the film due to the restrictions of Affleck's character. Medina, played by Addai-Robinson, is a Treasury agent and the moral compass of the group. She's there to ask the hard questions, say no to the questionable acts, and have things explained to her so that the audience can know them too. Addai-Robinson plays the emotional journey well, but gets relegated to supporting character when it comes time for the action. Visually, the film follows your basic spy thriller cop show path. There's a bunch of traveling around, meeting with shady people and interrogating them, and standard action sequences. There's also a few hacking scenes and a break-in or two. The costume and set work is all normal stuff. Everyday clothes, a few nice suits here and there, and basic locations. The highlights of the film are the action sequences that come every 30 minutes or so. They're usually brutal, cleanly shot, and a bit of a power fantasy. Sound-wise, the film uses a few original songs for flavoring and a lot of instrumentals to support the emotional journey. The music doesn't give the film an original sound, but does a good job bringing in tension when it's called for. On the negative side of things, the film lacks standout visual moments and songs, and the story is a little bit fantastical, getting utterly ridiculous at different points. For the visuals, it comes down to not having anything special enough. The hand-to-hand fights are clean and quick, but they're just basic fights. There isn't much back and forth either. The heroes rush in, kick everybody's butt, and the few shots they do take don't slow them down at all. If they wanted to stick with hand-to-hand fights and some basic gunplay, they needed to have a couple of villains who give the heroes a challenge. Someone who is as good as them, or someone that comes at them sideways. As it is, it's kind of like watching Saitama knock out comedy villains. Sound-wise, they have a few flavor-filled moments like in the bar scenes or during some of the transitions, but they aren't enough to make this film stand out. Most of the music is background instrumentals with a classic flavoring and they're generic. The few original songs they do add don't work well together or build up a theme of any kind. They're just neat-sounding songs that kind of fit the moment. Story-wise is where the film really fumbles. Part of the visual journey being lame is the lack of creative action in the writing, but the story also fails on a couple other fronts as well. Its villains are terrible, and it relies on the main characters essentially being invincible. The villains just never get developed. They exist to give exposition about what's going on, and to die violently. The film barely names them, and doesn't try to build any kind of interest or intrigue around them. They might as well be cardboard cutouts with mustached robbers painted on them. The main characters breeze through a hail of bullets. Grenades blow up at their feet. They quite literally take knives to the chest, pull it out, and just rub a little dirt on it. They are the plot armor warriors, and it ruins the action just a teeny bit. Personally, I enjoyed the film, and I think it's great for popcorn night. It's got a fun dynamic between Bernthal and Affleck, and while the mystery isn't all that deep, there's a few good action scenes and some decent build-up throughout the film. If you like action thrillers, this one is a bit generic, but it satisfies all the cravings you probably have. As for a rating, I'd give this a 6 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye.